Many years ago, many years ago, long ago, once upon a time. Viewers, you are most welcome to this episode. In this episode, we are going to narrate an African folktale, a folktale that is going to explain to us why we should live in harmony with each other in society, why society should unite together, the importance of unity and harmony. We are also going to learn the lessons thereof. Once upon a time, viewers, centuries ago, there existed two kingdoms, namely the kingdom of man and that of the kingdom of the monkeys. Now, initially, these two kingdoms never saw eye to eye with each other. The monkeys would always attack the farms of the people of the kingdom of man, destroy them, causing hunger and starvation in the kingdom. On the part of the men, they would also always organize hunting expeditions with their guns and dogs to launch attacks on the monkeys, kill them and use them for food. So none of the kingdoms lived in peace. Fortunately enough, one day, the leaders of the two kingdoms, King Bijinche, the king of the kingdom of man, and King Alempa, the king of the monkeys, decided to meet. The outcome of their meeting was nothing but glad tidings to their subjects. They had agreed on reconciliation, and they had also came out with some, terms of peaceful coexistence. Now, by the terms or by the agreement, it was the responsibility of the monkeys to always protect the farms of the men against any form of invasion by animals. The men were also by duty supposed to protect the monkey kingdom against hunters, dogs, and whatever. So for centuries, the two kingdoms each played their responsibilities diligently. The monkey kingdom lived in absolute peace because their worst enemies, who were the men and the dogs, in fact, were protected. In other words, the monkeys were protected against their enemies. The kingdom of man flourished from stage to stage as the years passed by because their youth, who were assured that their farms would get protection by the monkeys, ran into agric, farm, got enough yield, raised mansions, bought cars, educated their children, and the kingdom of man got massive development. Now, one year, King Bijinche, the king of the kingdom of man, cultivated millet in large quantities. They yielded enough, he gathered them and was to thrash. Now those days, they were not threshers like today. So what they used to do was, they would use sticks to beat the stalks, then winnow out the seeds from the stalks. So King Bijinche invited his friends, the monkeys, to help him beat the millets. The monkeys were happy to have received this invitation. So they announced to the whole kingdom that not even the day-born monkeys were to be left behind. Everyone was to be there. Meanwhile, King Bijinche had connived with the dogs to launch attack on the monkeys while they were doing the work. So he went and buried the dogs among the stalks the night before the day. The day came and the monkeys were all there. Every monkey was there. Now they happily started with the beating of the stalks, with their sticks, beating, singing, and dancing. Bem bem tim bem, vabara tu amartile. Bem 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 tim bem, vabara tu amartile. Bem bem tim bem, vabara tu amartile. Bem 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 tim bem, vabara tu amartile. And the meaning of the song is that in the absence of the dogs, yes, we the monkeys are for the floor. In the absence of the dogs, we are for the floor. Let's jubilate, let's work hard. They were beating and singing this song. Now, There was one orphan monkey among the monkeys who was very, very vigilant. He detected the plot of Kimbijinchie because he saw the dogs buried among the stalks. So he came out with his warning song as Ayaye Kirenyisia Nivahana Kirenyisia Ayaye Kirenyisia Nivahana Kirenyisia. Look, I'm warning you, my people. Be watchful. It's like I can see something like the leg of a dog. So let's be vigilant. Let's be vigilant, my people. They beat this orphan monkey and sent it far away. And they come back. Bim bim tim bim vabara tua martile. Bim bim tim bim vabara tua martile. Bim bim tim bim. The orphan monkey returned. Ayaye kerenyisia nivana kirenyisia. Ayaye kerenyisia niva. They sent it away for the second time, for the third, and for the fourth it returned. Ayaye kerenyisia niva. They sent it far, 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 far away. It was going away while crying and singing on top of his voice. The others all returned, started beating again and singing. Bim bim tim bim vabara tu amaritile. Bim 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 tim bim vabara tu amaritile. Bim bim tim bim. Kimbijinchie suddenly whistled to give a signal to the dogs to start with the lunch. So they jumped out from the stalks and attacked the monkeys, killed all the monkeys. The only surviving monkey was that of a monkey. Fortunately enough, it had conceived, so it gave birth to a male infant and warned it against man. That man was the most treacherous human being among God's creatures. So it should be careful, it should never trust man. Now on the part of Kimbijinchie, he gathered all the monkeys, sent them home. In fact, made feast with them, invited his people to join him. So while a section of his people joined, another said no, they will not. Because he had betrayed the trust that was between them and their friends. So they said they wouldn't join. So while the group that joined him was celebrating with him, the other group mobilized themselves and launched an attack on them. In fact, lawlessness and anarchy broke out. The two kingdoms met. The two groups met, fought, and Kimbijinchie was assassinated. Many lost their lives. In fact, the mansions they raised were brought down. The cars were looted. In fact, the kingdom of man was vandalized beyond repair. Everything went down. The end of the story. What are the lessons that we learn from this story, viewers? We have learned from the story that, see, we must unite our societies together. Societies must come together. Our families, our communities, our countries, our tribes, our ethnic groups must unite and work together. In that way we progress. See how, in fact, in a period of unity, the two communities progressed. So this is what we need to do. We need to love one another and come together as one people. Work together. That way we can go forward. Secondly, you see, we must have fellow feeling for each other. Even when we are drowning, we must think of each other. Look at the orphan monkey. They would send it away and come back because they have fellow feelings, sufficient fellow feeling for his colleagues. So it would return, warn them until it became critical. He decided to go away and still continue with the warning. So let's have very much fellow feeling for one another, and that is how we can, in fact, help one another and live in peace and develop as a society. Thirdly, you see, we must listen to and respect the voice of everyone, irrespective of the age, the position, and the class of each person. We must listen to the voice of and respect the voice of each person. Look at the orphan monkey. If the monkeys had listened to the orphan monkey, this tragedy wouldn't have been set on them. They could have avoided the tragedy, but they refused, and look at what happened to them. They suffered in the end. So teachers should listen to their students, parents should listen to their children, men should listen to their wives. Everybody should listen to everybody. Governors should listen to the governed, and that is how we can live and progress as a society. Finally and finally, we should place checks on our leaders. Leaders are not angels. So we should check on their questionable characters, their actions and inactions that can jeopardize the collective interest and peace of the society. It's our responsibility to check on what? The conduct of our leaders, so that they don't destroy the communities they lead, the people they lead, because they must live in the interest to support or to defend the interests of the whole community. So these are the lessons we learn from the story, from the folktale, and I'm sure you enjoy it. Viewers, you subscribe to my channel, and I promise to bring you more fantastic, interesting, educative, lively, and so educative African folktales. I'm grateful. Thank you, and bye.